Do you want to make a good thumbnail? No, not really. Of course you do, Timmy. It doesn't matter how good your video is. If it's not a good thumbnail, no one's going to click on it. Jesus Christ, Timmy, you fucking disgrace. Just move out the way. At least Timmy isn't here anymore. Let's get into it. The first thing we need to do is type up Photoshop and open it. Some would say the hardest task. After that, you got to go onto new file and then click on the 1920 x 1080. And now here, look, we have that lovely whiteboard. And you're going to transform it into an excellent thumbnail. So for the thumbnail, I wanted my face in it because I'm a narcissist. I spent a lot of time taking photos and deciding which one was the right one. I do a lot of them because you want to capture the right emotion, and that's important in thumbnails. If you are taking pictures of yourself with the thumbnail, I use a ring light. You don't have to, but it does help. So maybe in the future, buying one would be helpful. But for now, you don't need it. So I've got my face here now, as you can see, but it's a bit too big. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on it and press Control T. I'm going to edit to the size I want. Now, here I am, but I want to remove the background. So what I want to do is on the right panel, it says remove background. I'm going to press this. I do this because it's a lot quicker than doing it manually, and you can fix anything you need to fix if it goes a bit wrong. But it seems fine to me. So the second thing we're going to add, we're going to search in Google Chrome, Photoshop logo. It's just a little effect and it tells people what we're doing. And I'm also removing the background, of course. So the next thing I'm doing is finding a cool blue background. And that's exactly what I typed into the Google search bar. I decided to pick this one, seemed quite cool, so now we're going to add it. So after that, I wanted to make the background a bit better. So what I did, I pressed filter, blur, and motion blur. It's exactly what you think, it blurred it. The reason why I did this, because it just makes the other things on it stick. Next is text. Ooh, that's pretty good, right? One of the most important things about thumbnails are text. Make sure you don't add too much of it, otherwise it gets a bit complicated. But remember, if you're getting your fonts, please download them. Don't use the ones they already give you, because they're all very bad. I mean, I swear, if I see any of your thumbnails with impact... Okay, so my text will be best thumbnail. I do like to type the words individually, so you have more freedom when you're editing the text. I'm using the Heavy Mont font style, just because I think it's a good thumbnail font. So here we have our text, but it's not exactly done yet. So what we're going to do is go to the text panel, and we're going to double click it. Here you have a lot of options. It might seem overwhelming at first, but don't worry, I'm going to be here to guide the way. So first I decided to change the stroke. First I went with red, but then I realised I wanted to make the text orange, so I'd have to change it because red doesn't really fit well with orange. They're two similar colours. So I decided to make the stroke white again and make the actual text orange. So the next thing I really like to do with my text is add an inner glow, which is just basically adding a lighter colour on top of it. This is so it creates more of a vibrant colour on the text. And I add a drop shadow, do this because it makes it feel more within the thumbnail. Then I duplicate those same settings I did with the word thumbnail onto best. So the next thing I do is add strokes to the other images. If you didn't know, I kind of like doing this. I think it just adds something extra to those images and make them pop out more. So I'm going to add a stroke to myself. What I want to do is double click on my panel and then put on a stroke. As you notice, when I do put on the stroke, there's a lot more of it on my hair. I don't know why this happens, but this is a very easy solution. You just got to rub it out. Okay, so it looks good now. I'm also going to add a stroke to the Photoshop logo and also a shadow. So now we're going to go back to Chrome and type up a cool lightning background. I'm doing this because I want to put it around the text so it sticks out more and just makes the thumbnail look a bit more cooler. Okay, so here it is. But there is a problem. It is not transparent, and that's what we want to do. However, there is an easy solution to this. If you go to the bottom right panel, you see where it says normal. You're going to click on that and then press screen. And as you can see, it removes the black background. Disclaimer, this only works if it has a black background. But I wanted to change the colour of these lightning strikes. Luckily, you can do that. If you go to the very bottom right and click this circle and then click hue saturation, you can change the colour. Remember to also press colorize and up the saturation, and then you can change the colour to anything you want. Make sure to not change up the lightness, because otherwise it will show the background. So I think we're nearly done. As you can see though, I am making a few tweaks, upping like contrasts and lighting and stuff like that. But remember as well, this only took me about 30 minutes max. I mean, it's not very time consuming, but it is worth, you know, putting your effort into, because at the end of the day, I think it is one of the most important things of a video, because that's the first thing people see. If your video is great, but the thumbnail isn't good, then they're not going to click it, and they're not going to have the chance to see your amazing video. Alright, I'm done now. I'm trusting you to do a very simple task, which is just putting the picture into your files. Timmy! What the hell are you doing? I'm just snipping the thumbnail. Why are you snipping it? All you gotta do is press File, Export, put on JPEG and put it to the max setting on 7. Jesus Christ, Timmy. Can you not do one simple task? Just move. So now as you can see, like I said, I go File, Export, Export As, and make sure it's on JPEG and put the quality up to max. Okay, so you're all done. You've just made a very good quality thumbnail. Hope you feel good. After you've uploaded this video, maybe take a break. You know, don't always be editing and doing thumbnails or whatever. You know, meet a friend. Go outside in general. Yeah. Don't do drugs. That's important. You know. Like, be happy. Life's good, man.